They also, unevolved Aries loves to just be like, I quit. I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Start off strong. And then all along the way, they're just like, nope, I'm done. So I'm not at all referring to that. All right. Let me see. And so what does that mean? The Saturn and Aries energy. What does this mean for the rest of us? All of us don't have a ton of Aries in our chart. Does this mean that it will or will not affect us? Of course it will. Energy matters. This is why when people say that they don't believe in astrology, I just kind of laugh to myself, because I think to myself, you don't believe in it as though that makes it somehow not real. It may not be real because you have not taken the time to educate yourself, but that doesn't make it less than. Astrology came before all of the religions that were forced down our throat. So keep that in mind when people say things like that, that they don't know what they're talking about. You kind of just have to let it be what it is. So Aries and Saturn, they are starting a flame, but this flame is going to stay that way. Okay. It's not going to burn out anytime soon. And you might feel a little tired during this time, especially you fire signs, especially you cardinal signs, which I just went over. I want you to rest when you can, because Saturn is not going to be letting up. Saturn is asking you, who are you? Who are you for real, really? And do you think that you're strong enough to carry those manifestations that you keep wanting, that you keep asking the universe for? Saturn knows you are, but it's saying, are you actually ready? Consider it like a really tough, one of those workout boot camps. Consider it something like that. Okay. Where they're like, no, you can give me 5 more reps. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know how they'll say dig deep? It's that energy. All right. It is time to rebuild from the ground up. And this means our confidence. This means our rage, how you handle conflict. You can't keep being destructive and impulsive. You can't keep immediately becoming violent, which I know most of my new moons, you're not violent. So I'm not referring to all of you. I'm referring to a small group of you. You can't just keep channeling fire and then being surprised when everything explodes in your face. Saturn is going to make you sit with that, make you sit with those consequences and then ask you, so are you done yet? Is that the energy you want to be on until 2028? This is going to be difficult for you if you say yes. It is time for us to keep in mind where we came from, how we started. Saturn is going to take you back to that. It's also going to take you back to lessons, because obviously there's retrogrades in all of the planets. It's going to take you back to certain lessons that maybe you're uncomfortable with. Let's say that you mistreated a friend. It's going to take you back to that and see, did you really learn anything from this? And if not, we're going to keep circling back. You know how in corporate, they love to say, let's circle back. Saturn's going to actually do that. Okay. So those of you who have quote unquote main character energy, it's not so much that Saturn is saying that you're not built for it or that you're not important. It's saying, you know what? Don't think of just yourself though. Don't be so self-important. Don't be so self-involved. If you are, let's say, an influencer, are you actually doing anything to help anybody? Or is this just you, give me? Because if that is the case, with all due respect, don't be surprised if that crumbles. Those who are okay with toxic masculinity and misogyny, Saturn's going to call that out, because Saturn is divine masculine energy. Remember, when it comes to divine feminine and divine masculine energy, it is not men do this, women do this. Remember, source or the divine is all of those things. It is divine feminine. It is divine masculine. It is both energies all the time. It needs both to keep moving forward. But you see, what you see in society is a heavy lean on only misogyny, on only toxic masculinity. Guess what that deletes? Divine feminine energy. You might be confused. Well, you just said this wasn't men do this and women do this. But you see, you notice how I didn't say divine masculine energy in that? because that's not divine masculine energy. Toxic masculinity has nothing to with, the key word here is divine. There's nothing divine about that. Misogyny, there's nothing divine about that. So people who say things like, why didn't Cassie just leave? Saturn's about to call you out and say, oh, really? Well, let me show you examples in your own life. And then you tell me, did you change your tune now? Saturn, when it gives lessons, they are, sometimes you're like, all right, Saturn, that is enough. That is chill out. So when you combine that with the fiery energy of Aries, it's not backing off. I don't want you to be afraid. I'm just saying it is not about to back down. So those of you who carry an energy of, I don't need anybody. I got this. Me. Saturn will be like, oh, is that right? Well, let's see how you get through this, Miss me, Mr. Me. Let's see how you get through that. That's what I thought. Okay. And for those of you who, how do I want to word this? Who do things like, let's say you do some sort of work within your body that requires quite a bit of movement. So dancers, etc. Don't be surprised if Saturn pulls you to really focus on taking care of that body. Okay. Different types of movement are necessary. Obviously, we should all be moving. I don't care if you're just going for a walk. I don't care if you work out 7 days a week. Okay. I don't recommend that, but I'm also not licensed to tell you that I don't recommend that. So, I mean, I can say I don't, but I want you to get moving. But for those of you who do, maybe you're into martial arts, etc., Saturn is asking you to be kinder to your body. Okay. This is the only body that we have in this realm. So be kinder to it, protect it. All right. Because it is our temple, so to speak. All right. And I know you've heard that a million times, but that is just me reiterating that and really driving that home, is that we got to take care of it. Move it, but don't disrespect your body. Saturn's asking you to pay attention to that. All right. And so Saturn is also saying, what is it that you don't want to carry anymore? What energy is it that you need to let go of, that you are saying, this is too much. I don't need to keep fighting for this. This is nonsense. It's not even relevant anymore. Saturn's going to point that out and say, it is time for you to let that go. And if you need to burn it, burn it. Fire sign. Remember, fire sign energy. That's Aries. And so, Aries, I want you to keep something in mind. There will be people who, when it comes to Saturn returns, will tell you that, oh, buckle up. This is about to be bad for you. For some people who need to evolve, way back in the day, I don't discuss this person on my show anymore, but I need to because it's important. Way back in the day when I referred to Saturn returning with his belt, that's the name of the episode. I mentioned as an example, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was going through his Saturn returns because Saturn was moving into Pisces at that time. And what did we see in the media? We saw the media, we saw his own fans say, you know what? I don't know what's with you. Cause those of you who want to pretend like you don't remember this, go for it. But he did turn on his own fans. And this is why I'm no longer a fan of Bad Bunny, is because I'm not a fan of somebody being performative. One thing that I will never do is be performative with you. Pretend to be one way when I'm really the other. I'm very much so, no, this is just who I am. I mean, if you don't like it, that's okay, man. I validate myself. And so somebody like myself who watched this happen in real time and was a Bad Bunny fan way back when he was Trap Bunny, way back before any of you found him attractive, I watched this and sat back and was like, oh, you've got so much to learn. And he did. Because now you see a very different version of Benito. Okay. This is not the same. And that's why I use his real name. It's a very different version of him. Saturn said, oh, that is enough. All this like emotional manipulation that you like to do, that's enough. I'm not having it. because that's an unevolved Pisces.